What up, y'all? I hope you're having a good week so far. I am. It's Monday. We've made it this far. So excited. I have the next 2 days off, so that'll be nice. I can just sort of meander and get into my little off days routine, which is nice. I'm excited about that. It's been, I don't know, I've been working a lot recently, so I definitely need some just me time and decompressing. And yeah, so excited about that. We're here for our extended anchor message from this morning. And so this is going to, like when we do our Sunday night energy forecasts for the week, that's sort of like the energetic weather that we can expect. And the way that I look at the anchor messages on Monday is this is sort of setting us up for the themes that we'll be working with for the next week and beyond. But this is like the theme playing out in this week's episode of life, if that makes sense. So things will be building on and unfolding on this theme. So we got from the wild unknown archetypes, the unseen, followed by the stone, followed by fault line. And so that behind there. And then for our tarot cards, we got Page of Swords, followed by the Lovers, followed by the Empress. And so my impressions overall, I'm just going to start talking and then I'll go into individual cards if that's how it unfolds. So I feel like we're really being guided, same as last week, to really go deep and strong with our spiritual practice and with strengthening our connection to that which is greater than we are, our creator, our source. I've been working on building a prayer practice of actually saying my prayers out loud. And it always makes such a huge difference. And I'm experiencing it this week already. It's like I try to think of everything I can in my life and just pray over it as often as I can through the day, but definitely when I'm getting ready for work and like those times of day where you have routines, you can build these things into the routine. Like in the shower, I'll pray in the shower while I'm in there. Just trying to remember to say out loud anything that you want to unburden yourself of, the things that you would like to see blessed in your life. If you want to, I've just been like praying that I'm so grateful for my good health and for, great shifts at work. And I get it really in detail about, having high value customers coming in and having, great flow and the timing and in my life. Like I'm so grateful for my home and for the forest behind my house and for, my relationships with my friends and family. And so when I think, I want to draw in more shifts, I'll pray for more shifts. When I want to expand, certain things, like I'll start praying over those things out loud and I'll make a list of things to try to remember to keep up with. So because we got the unseen, we got the stone, and we got fault line, I feel like continuing on last week, there's just a little bit of choppiness in the waters. There's something that's just a little bit disturbing. We've had a lot of illusions that have sort of been keeping us feeling like out of sorts, maybe fearful, maybe intimidated or anxious or confused or like uncertain about situations. And so everything has felt very precarious. The fault line, it feels like everything is just like gonna blow up any minute or crumble under our feet. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we have come through such a rapid transformation and such a thorough transformation over this last year, but it's really culminated over the last few months. I mean, think about it. We talked about, in August and September during the Virgo season and Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that we were literally getting a new soul ready for this big grand new chapter for our life. And so all of these changes happen so quickly. Like, think about just a few months ago. Doesn't it feel like a lifetime ago? Don't you feel like you have become like this all new version of yourself already? So it's like all of these changes are happening from the inside, almost like the pressure building under the tectonic plates, under the surface of the earth. So all of these changes are happening on the inside, and we feel the pressure and the building, and we're like, things are about to start moving on the outside, but we don't know what it's going to look like, and we don't know how it's going to happen, and we don't know how it's going to play out, And so our minds can run wild if we don't have mastery over them. It is up to us to cultivate our thoughts and our feelings and stay calm and not let our thoughts and feelings control us. We have a choice of the thoughts that we entertain in our mind. Those thoughts affect how we feel, and our feelings start informing our emotions and our moods. And when those kinds of things get chronic, it really has a lasting effect, and it can create subconscious patterns and belief systems, right? And things that hold us back and blocks. So things are shifting and moving under the surface. We're feeling anxious. We're feeling impatient. We just want something to happen, and we just have to chill. Embrace the moment. There's only so much that we can control right now, and what we do have control over is cultivating a sense of inner peace and strength. That's where the stone comes in. We want to be cultivating a sense of inner peace, and we want sustainable joy. And our goal is to get to a point of certainty in the light that is so unshakable. Can you imagine what it would be like to be the version of yourself that no matter what was happening in your life, no matter what the circumstances, you were just always like, oh, everything's gonna work out fine. Everything always does. What if you were just that person that was just like, it'll all work itself out, nothing to worry about, completely confident, everything's just gonna fall into place, you're moving through life with ease and grace, you're not gripped in fear, it's like the things are happening and you can see it, but you don't get in an emotional narrative, and you don't get pulled in, can you imagine a version of yourself? And usually the people that are like that, things really do work out for them, right? Because they have no vibrational resistance to that. They're in complete resonance with it. So our goal is to build our house on the rock, the certainty that God is within everything, and we are within God, and we are sparks of that light. And to have affinity with that light, we want to have a sense of cause consciousness, not effect consciousness. The light is always eternal. It's always perpetual, unfluctuating, unchanging. It doesn't matter what's happening around the light. The light is always full and complete and never wavers. It doesn't change. Effect consciousness is, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I want to take action. Oh, I want to fix this. Oh, I need to I want to people please. I don't want them to be mad at me. Do you think they're mad at me? Oh my God. Was there an upset? Cause consciousness, perpetual, unconditional love, unwavering, even more perpetual than the sun. Effect consciousness is the market's tanking. We've got to sell all of our, and then you lose your investments, right? Because, smart people know that when the market goes down, that's great. They can buy. And then when the market inevitably goes back up, they'll be rich. They are having cause consciousness. It doesn't matter the circumstances. They have a plan. They know the trend. They are unwavering. They don't sell when it goes down. They buy. We want to get to a point where we are so solid that we can remember when we catch ourselves getting in those ego loops to just bounce back to certainty. It's okay. We're never going to be perfect. We're always a work in progress, but it's all about how quickly you can bounce back, right? From being thrown off your game. So what you want to do is really lean on the prayer practice. Lean on the knowledge that you have an angelic team, an army around you at all times. You have spirit guides. You have a spirit inside of you. You have connections to the Holy Spirit. You can call on Jesus, the Christ. You can even call on the Marys, Mary Magdalene, Mary, Jesus' mother. Like, some people work with them. Some people work with the saints. Like, invite your angels to help you. We have to invite our spiritual help in, or else it's a violation of our free will. But once we do, it's so powerful to use your intention, use your voice. And then on top of that, be aware of your thoughts and be ready to foil your opponent that's going to come in and try to trick you and throw you off your game and get you distracted from the bigger vision, right? We've been talking about that. So underneath unseen, we had Page of Swords. And so Page of Swords can be a message that comes in and kind of gets you a little bit disturbed. It can be a little bit unpleasant. Well, it's funny because Sagittarius, Jupiter ruling Sagittarius, this is the month of Sagittarius right now. Sagittarius can be a bit blunt sometimes, and can be a little bit harsh and not think about what they say or how they want to say it. The page level of character is someone who's not fully matured or fully skilled yet. So this is in the realm of communication and the realm of the mind. So the page maybe still doesn't have complete mastery over mind over matter. They might still be plagued with indecision and anxiety, and maybe they're a little bit blunt about the way they communicate, or maybe they're just they don't have full faculties around their communication skills yet. But they are willing to get in there and do what needs to be done and have the courage of their convictions to make an honest effort and make an honest attempt at honest, open, authentic communication. Okay. So it's this page is ready to push up the sleeves and get to it and focus and do what needs to be done. And part of that is using that communication, growing that prayer practice, right? Maybe we're not pros at it yet, but we're getting there. We're beginners, but we're starting to realize that we can lean on the unseen. Rhymes. That sounds like something on a bumper sticker. Lean on the unseen. Okay. Underneath the rock, the stone, we got the Lovers. And this is really interesting because the Lovers card is one of layered meaning. First of all, I love that this is under this triangle. This is like the supernal triad up here to me. And what I see here is the source up here. And then I see divine masculine and divine feminine. And when these two are both connected to source, then it spills out over, the cup runneth over for both of them. So what they want to do is get their energy and love from source. That fills their tank, and then they can meet in the middle here, right? And be full and overflowing to each other. The angel in the Lovers card represents Archangel Raphael. And in traditional tarot art, the feminine is looking up at Archangel Raphael, who represents the higher self, or the connection to that. And the masculine is looking at the feminine. The masculine represents the conscious intellect, the logical mind, the conscious mind, who is looking to the feminine, the subconscious mind, who is appealing to the subconscious, looking to feel a sense of higher power or a connection to the divine through the subconscious. The subconscious is connected to the superconscious, which is represented by Archangel Raphael in the traditional artwork. So that awakening of consciousness, that internal union of that subconscious becoming conscious, that masculine and feminine within that holy marriage, it's happening as a result of the work that we've been doing and the practices that we're putting in place in this up-leveled version of this next season of our lives. As we're learning to live more in touch with the higher self, it's getting easier for us to surrender the ego and the conscious ambitions to the care of the higher self, knowing that we have this surrendered feeling that whatever is meant to be we're going to be supported. It's going to happen. Whatever is ours is already ours. And if it's not for us, then it's going to pass us by, and it will be better for not having it. And so we have this surrendered trust, and we can let go and just allow. Also, the lovers have to do with big decisions in life. Those big decisive moments, the big why in the road moments. So it's important to make those decisions based on your heart, the desire of your heart of hearts, what your soul is calling you to do, what you want deep in your heart, that language. Like, you want to make those decisions from a deeply authentic place that is in alignment with what you feel deep in your heart. So take your time making any decisions or doing anything that can have really decisive consequences right now. And also the lovers sometimes really does have to do with having a next level type of relationship unfold in your life. And it can be that the relationship that you're already in is going to have, it's going to mature or deepen or, go to the next level of devotion or commitment. Or it could mean that you're about to meet a person, or maybe you have recently, or something might be developing that is a person that is like your spiritual equal, that you could have a soulmate level relationship with. And in Kabbalah, what we learn is that there are different levels of relationships, and many people could be your soulmate, but it's less of like a categorization of a person and more of a level of the relationship that you can have. So there's like practice mates, and then there's tikkun mates, where you work out like those life things, those karmic relationships. And then there's soulmate partners, where you've done a lot of that work in the other relationships, and now you're ready to meet someone who's like equally at your level. You can grow together, you can build together, you can heal together, you can work together as equals, matching each other's energy and like growth level, and like support one another, and have like a healthy relationship that's so it's so healthy that it actually helps other people through your relationship. Like, your relationship has so much love and security and stability that it overflows, and then you can actually work together to like make the world a better place. Like, that's a soulmate level relationship where you bring out the best in each other. You actually become more powerful and more because of it, right? And it's like the two parts make something greater than as if the two people were just alone trying to do the work together, or apart, solo. And so then we had the Empress underneath the fault line. And the Empress is about to give birth, and I feel that she is just having those pre-birth jitters where she's like, okay, great. Like, this new life is coming. This bountiful harvest is coming. I've worked so hard. Like, the Empress worked on building the things around her that she is enjoying. She also knows how to passively receive in her feminine. She knows how to take action when she's divinely guided, but also be in that state of receiving and allowing and being in a surrendered state. So Empress is very excited. She's looking forward to the future. But there's something, she's just a little bit like, I don't know, wistful or melancholy. And I think it's because she's a little bit nervous that she's about to get ripped in two, giving birth, but also that she's got to say goodbye to the old self. There's a new self, a whole new phase of life, a whole new season. She's going from maiden to mother. That's an archetypal shift. It's big. And that's the big shift that we have been like being led to step by step in slow motion all year. And oh my gosh, like suddenly here we are in December and it's like, oh, this big shift is upon us. And so it feels a bit nerve-wracking. It feels a bit like, you know, we're saying goodbye to an old way of life and things are about to change. And, you know, it's not going to be the same as it was. And I think for the better. And I think it's just that there's a lot of illusion right now and it feels very precarious and it feels very scary and we're nervous and we don't know what's going to happen exactly. And I mean, giving birth is a very risky, bloody, gnarly, painful, messy, dangerous process, right? And whatever you're giving birth to in your life, maybe there's a bunch of new things happening in different categories. I do feel that 2023 is going to be the implementation year. It's going to be the building year. So where 2022 has been the pregnancy year, get ready. We're about to give birth to the baby and it is go time. It is like the feedings, the diaper changes. We're going to be living in it soon. So just be prepared. Keep on your game. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep now. Like, stay on it. Keep doing what needs to be done. Pull your little knee socks up. Get your little knife. I love this card. I love these cards. I love these outfits that all these people are wearing. But she's giving me Lenny Kravitz walking down the street in that gigantic scarf that looks like a runner rug. Do you guys know the picture I'm talking about? Look up, Google images of Lenny Kravitz wearing giant scarf. And then like open another tab and look at that and tell me that's not him. So funny. All right, y'all. I think that this week, if you go back and watch yesterday's energy forecast, this week has the potential to have a bit of the scaries, maybe be a little uncomfortable, but just keep your chin up. Don't be scared. I really do think that the fog is lifting and like the threats are dissipating. And I think that even if there is stuff to be taken care of, it's not going to be as big of a deal as we thought. But like, stay serious, stay vigilant, like follow up on the things that you've started, but like, don't panic, like chill. Take the action, but like there's no reason to spin out of control. Everything's going to be good. And the whole point is to try to cultivate that certainty, that prayer practice, build that vessel, that faith, so that you're like the stone. You're building that house on the rock, meaning the security and structure that protects you, that takes care of you, that you can rest in, right, is the creator, is source, right? That is that unchanging, eternal, perpetual, right? And we're trying to have affinity with that. Because if we have affinity with that, then that's what we're going to attract and that's what we're going to perpetuate and that's what we're going to create, right? So keep on the prayer game. Get to the point where you are thinking about remembering to try to practice cause consciousness and not affect consciousness, being affected by all the winds of change and circumstances, like the fault line. don't worry, this brewing sense, it doesn't necessarily mean that something terrible is going to happen. It's just this growing anticipation for what's coming. The birth of something big. Big decisive moments coming in. Maybe new love, maybe true love. You never know. Just try not to be too blunt. Try to understand that you might be a little bit less mature than you think you are in your communication. So just take it slow. Mercury's about to go into retrograde. So, and then Sagittarius loves to be blunt and like outspoken with no like filters. So watch that and look up Lenny Kravitz's giant scarf. All right, you guys, I hope you have a good night. I know I will. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Ciao.